Hi, it's Lisa Greenfield with Truthinhand, and it's time for your daily tarot. This is the week of October 3rd through the 9th, 2016, and we've got a really interesting week shaping up. So, curious? If you are, do visit me, truthinhand.com, where my love of astrology, tarot, and always the truth in your hand come together to give you the best information possible to help you make choices in your life. Now, we start with the card of the week, which is always that overarching theme that helps tie everything together. We have an interesting theme this week. We've got the Two of Arrows, which is the Injustice card. Okay? Now, this is going to help you in seeing where you have felt out of balance, where things have felt unfair. And it's usually you against authority, the outside authority. So this week it's really about adjusting those scales so that you see yourself as more than equal to any challenge or any authority that is being introduced or present in your life. All right? And we start right out of the gate with Monday. The Four of Arrows, which is the two has now become a four. Fours are always putting things on a firm foundation. So anytime you get that, this is a mentally firm foundation. So you're going to experience something that gives you a chance to see how far you've come as far as trusting yourself, trusting that your take on things is good, but also being willing to see what the other person's point of view is. Not abandoning yours, but doing it in a way that can help bring about a better resolution. And what I love about that is we move into Tuesday, we've got the Nine of Arrows, which this nines are always the teacher number. It says that you've come far enough to be your own authority. And so you're going to step into a situation where, or continue one, maybe hungover from Monday, but you're going to feel more powerful. And not only that, but you're going to get more traction with the powers that be. With the astrology today, it's easier than ever for you to speak to authority and feel your own authority while doing it. All right? Nice. Important shift. Okay, and then we move into Wednesday, and we've got the Hooded Man. Now, the Hooded Man is time alone, and it's the inner light and the inner knowing, but it's a major arcana card. And it also says there's a strength. You understand the strength of who you are. And it doesn't have to be you against the world. It's that you are strong enough to enter the world and interact and have challenges and be all right as an adult, because that young place inside of us can get triggered when we're dealing with any authority, including even our partners, feeling like more of an authority. So, and there's a Mars, square today that is very much about acting on these new beliefs in a much more solid, concrete way. Watch for temper. Sometimes anger is how we gear up, to really overcome a challenge. In this case, you don't want to swat flies with cannonballs. You're more than an equal. They're just trying to get through their day too. More often than not, they're not trying to bully you. They're not just trying to overrun you. Your job is to make sure you're speaking for yourself. You feel like you're being heard so that you can listen. You're listening to yourself so you can listen to the other person. Okay? All right. And then we move into Thursday, and we've got the Eight of Stones. Now, eights are always what you put out there comes back to you. So with the Eight of Stones, you get tangible proof that you've made progress. You're getting somewhere. All right? And it's a learning curve. You're not going to think everything perfectly. You're not going to do everything perfectly. But you're navigating this new territory and acting on a new belief system that you are more than an equal to any challenge that comes up. You are more than an equal to any authority. And it's okay if that triggered place comes up that feels young, that feels vulnerable. You're going to stand for you. And you're going to listen to you. And then from that place of strength, speak to whoever, whatever else is going on from a place that you can hear them because you've heard you. All right? Back, that same theme continues. And it's going to be important because we continue that on Friday. We've got the Page of Stones. Now, the pages are the inner child. This is the state that we are in before we physically act on it. Knights are always about movement. And the pentacles are the slowest moving. So it's like, okay, you kind of consolidate on Friday. Circumstances may, present themselves that give you a chance to really hunker down and see how far you've come, and then you're going to act on it in another, expanded choice as opposed to a knee-jerk reaction. And that combination earlier of the hooded man and the Four of Arrows also means that those alone times, those where you can step back and be the observer and just see the way that you're being triggered, be compassionate, and then being strong for it, that is all helping you navigate newer, broader territories without feeling at a loss, without feeling at the mercy of. And we move into a really sweet space with that on Saturday, and that's that Page of Vessels, okay? So what's going on with the Page of Vessels is that's back to the inner state, but this is that heartfelt, that it's like, oh, this feels good, this feels good. And it also says that vessels are less solid than the stones the day before. So when you get these two pages back to back, sometimes that can mean that when you don't have full confidence in yourself, you can speak to others. It can be a form of gossiping where you're talking to other people to validate your point of view. And that helps us feel stronger in what we are choosing to do. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You just want to take it up a few notches. The other person isn't wrong, bad, awful. Let your conversations be a way to be heard and validated, and also expand your point of view that knows that you're more than capable of whatever the actions are required, and that it can be a little scary. There's no opposition that you can't reroute or flip to your advantage, all right? But it's still that young, tender place that it's really feeling its way and standing up to authority and being in relationship in a way that's vulnerable and still strong, okay? And that's important because we move into Sunday and we've got the Three of Arrows. Now, the Three of Arrows is not an easy card. It actually can signify tears and grief. And what I want you to wrap up the week with, what's really helpful here, is that though there are places in your life where you were bullied, there are places in your life that were unfair, that authority did not listen or care about you. And there's a defensiveness that comes up as a protection in all of us, around those sore places. But we continue, because we haven't dealt with that trauma, we continue to be defensive, and more defensive than serves us in all of our relationships, until we sit with that place that needs our love and compassion, that felt so out of balance, it felt so unfair. Back to the card of the week, the injustice. And when you can give yourself that nurturing and then act on it from a stronger place, going, yeah, but I'm going to stand up for me now. Then you don't have to fear confrontation. You don't have to fear getting closer to somebody, because you're being strong as well as vulnerable. Now, that's a powerful way to wrap up the week and take the most advantage of the astrology and the cards. All right? Again, visit me at truthinhand.com if you want more of this. Thank you for listening. Talk to you next time.